Merry Christmas again, ladies, as we embark on the last 4 days of the year. This is time to reflect. This is a time to look back on 2021 and say, who am I?
Apparently, I'm the
Show
devil.
Yikes. Well, you've heard it there. That's the Professor John Guy, the King of Bungie, the Troll Masters, the Data Analyzing Ninja, the newly formed Devil King,
I don't know about that one. I
the
don't know about that one.
Cleaner, Professor Omega, ladies and gentlemen. How was your Christmas, sir?
Well, I don't have kids, so it was pretty relaxing.
You
I didn't have to
know,
pick up any present wrappers and such, so
that's so funny you
it's
mentioned that.
kind of chill.
I don't have kids either, so my morning was chill, which is good, right? That's good. Morning Christmas for adults is cool without kids. But then in the evening, I was surrounded by kids, and the joy of seeing them, I guess, get those gifts that we used to get where we would mark out, the
I don't know what you're
not,
talking about. I barely got presents as a kid, so
those. I mean,
shout outs to my mother on that one.
oh my God, I'm gonna give, I'm gonna do this for your mom.
No,
Your mom would be like, you know what, son,
no, she actually
that's
deserved
not for
something.
me. That's not for me. That's for you. Go foul. I mean, you guys had some stuff though. I mean, you still had systems, you know. So
Unlike Doc, who didn't really have to share.
yeah, I didn't. I was blessed, man. Become blessed.
Prof not only had to share, but I had to endure watching things that were supposed to be profs, air quotes,
Mhm.
get broken many a times. So
Yeah, yeah.
no, I did not get systems.
Doctors, I can't get into this right now on live stream with millions of people listening.
But I hope everyone out there had themselves a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And for those who celebrated, Happy Kwanzaa to you
I
as
can
well.
this. And for those who don't celebrate anything, happy Monday.
Yes.
Happy. Hope you had a great weekend.
Yes.
Um,
And for
we
our Canadian folks out there, I hope you had a great Boxing Day as well too. Got to make sure we don't forget.
Yeah, people love that Boxing Day. Boy, they love that Boxing Day. But we also had some great football this weekend.
We did.
Some people clinched their divisions. Some people didn't
Embarrassed
even get off.
themselves on national
Yeah,
TV.
didn't even get off the bus, fighting on the sideline. We'll get to that, Johnny. But we had the Saturday game between two Saturday games between
Yep.
the Cleveland Browns and the Green Bay Packers. Which I know I chose the Browns. You chose the Packers. I mean, the Browns almost made Doc proud, fighting to the end. Um, and then Baker, who's all of a sudden his future is in question. All of a sudden,
I
it's
feel
like,
like people are giving him a bad rap. He's still playing very hurt. And despite, playing hurt, he's still out there. They still have an outside chance of making it to the playoffs. I think because OBJ is playing so well in Los Angeles, now they're trying to create this paradox saying, well, now it's Baker's fault. And I feel like that's not fair.
so this is what I'll say, and this is no offense to Jarvis Landry,
Nope.
Rashard Higgins, who
Yep.
Rashard Higgins is a big EFL legend.
Of course.
He played with me with the Panthers. Good Rashard Higgins. But when you got Cooper Cup over there, who's just eating up catches, I mean, like we used to talk about Bray Wyatt eating pins. Cooper Cup eats catches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Um, I mean, the guy wakes up from catching Z's and goes straight into just
Catching
catch 'em.
TDs.
Yeah, catching mode. I mean, it's full-fledged catch mode. So when you have to worry about Cooper Cup, it's like OBJ doesn't have to be that number one option anymore, and that's where it is. I don't think he's ever suited to be a number one option, which is why his time in New York was cut short, and that's exactly why his time in Cleveland has been cut short because he's not a number one option anymore. unlike what we've seen from other receivers, a la, you look in Minnesota or you look in, New England, Buffalo,
Yep.
right? Stephon Diggs, number one receiver, right? Tampa Bay, even Antonio Brown looked like a number one receiver yesterday, but we'll get to those games. I don't think it's Baker's fault.
No, no. I just feel like, when the team's losing who have playoff aspirations, it's, quick to, especially with Baker, because people don't like Baker, period,
They don't.
because of his
I don't think.
attitude.
Yeah, and he's on these Hulu commercials, and they're just like, "Come on, who does he think he is on
Exactly.
these Hulu commercials?" And he's not even. He hasn't even won no
Like
games.
to quote Doc about 2 years ago, Baker's getting way too much heat.
Way too much heat. But shout out to the Packers for
Yeah.
capitalizing on those four turnovers. I saw a stat yesterday. It was saying Aaron Rodgers all season he's only thrown four interceptions. Baker Mayfield throws four interceptions in one game.
Hmm.
But Aaron Rodgers has been playing for a long time, so it's like him. Obviously, what Drew Brees used to do, Tom Brady, obviously, not so
Yep.
much Big Ben. And that's where Big Ben's fall off is really bad because these guys have seen every coverage there is, right? Every coverage, can't really disguise it. Tom's literally in the middle of his drop back play action, calling out the coverage. Hey, they're in cover two, Lenny. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause he's like, until you get to that level, it's like you can't really count interceptions.
Absolutely.
We know Peyton Manning threw a billion interceptions in the beginning of his career. So I don't think that's a good stat there. But Aaron Rodgers, 24 for 34, 202 yards, three tutties. I mean, they just had an opportunity to just win the game. I mean, it
Yeah.
capitalized on some turnovers. But shout out to the Packers, man. Hopefully they can continue their dominance up until they see the Bucks again. Next, we got the Colts versus the Cardinals. Obviously, I chose the Cardinals. And you chose the Colts, which is really smart of you. Um, the Colts, a team, I think I said, that you don't really want to play,
Nope.
um, especially in the playoffs. You hope that this team does not make the playoffs because they're riding high. Mr. Wright has them, you know, ready. Um, and they have the best running back in football right now.
Yeah.
Um,
I
you know,
mean,
I,
and it's not like they're not, they're playing, under 500 teams. Like they've been beating quality opponents.
and they got this guy, right?
I mean, this is the first time people are actually doing that in like 4 years. I don't
In 4 years.
think I
I
don't
agree.
think we need to. And
It's
we're
the
talking
first
about T.Y. Hilton, of course, folks. Um, but I mean, they beat the Cardinals, they beat the Patriots. I mean, they beat the Bills. When we thought that they were still kind of contenders, and we'll talk
they
about
almost
that
beat
game a little
and they
bit.
almost beat the Bucks.
And they almost beat the Bucks. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and we kept saying like the Colts are better than what their record is, and now they're showing why we've been saying that since the middle of the season.
Yeah, and
And
this is a good
it's
opportunity
and
though.
this is a classic case of it's never how you start the season, it's always how you end it.
And this is a good opportunity. I mean, we know that Colts defense is pretty good also, but
Hmm.
it's a great opportunity for Carson
And and
Wentz.
and and that's with them, without a lot of their defensive stars.
That's true too. And the defensive stars are hurt. And I don't know, I don't think you ever turned on Hard Knocks on HBO, but I like the in season Hard Knocks. It's so perfect for me because it's like you're looking for something to watch. And most of the YouTubes have it now anyway for most teams, but watching them on Hard Knocks has been pretty sweet. And I'm glad that they
Yeah.
didn't let that distract them either.
Which I
They
would say
actually,
that would have been my biggest concern, whether or not they would allow that to distract them.
yeah, and
But
they've been doing a good job.
but the Cardinals, their offense has been in disarray. I kind of been talking about that for the past few weeks, and it kind of shown. We had a safety due to intentional grounding, which was really really bad. And I
Yeah.
mean, Jonathan Taylor for MVP. We keep saying it.
Well, apparently there's a two-man race between him and Aaron Rodgers. They said forget Tom Brady. We don't care how old
Mm,
he is anymore. That's what the article said.
I feel like they're only saying that because Tom Brady had a really really bad game against the Saints. But that
Agreed.
was the same thing people kept saying about Aaron Rodgers after week 1.
True. That's true. But that was week 1. This is week 15. So
Oh, now
yeah, 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 yeah.
they've been holding that over his head for like 11 weeks.
They
Kill
tried to
that noise.
slowly. They tried to show slowly but surely. Maybe what 10 weeks in, start letting that go. But we had the Eagles beat up on the Giants, which was very expected.
Yeah,
Um,
we both had that one. That I
yeah,
mean,
we had the
I
we
mean,
had the
Jake Fromm
Chiefs.
started.
Well, I just wanted to give the guy a shot, right?
I mean, he started at least.
I just wanted to give him a shot. But we did have the Rams beat the Vikings,
Hmm.
um,
A game
which
that was pretty entertaining, actually.
yeah, and the Vikings, like we've been saying, pretty good team. They just can't close out the games, and obviously they can't, get to a point where they can win. I guess this is where it's like they can't win the big games, I should say.
Yes. Well, I mean,
But
they won a couple of big games, but the
well, the
games that
Vikings.
really count.
Yeah, I mean that's the big ones. The ones that counts are the big ones. But Matthew Stafford, this is what I was kind of talking about. Where they were saying he should be in the mix for Pro Bowl, and it's like 21 for
No, not
37,
not not with this.
197,
Yeah, not with this
one
kind of
TD,
game. I can't
3 picks.
agree with
I mean,
that.
Sony Michelle, 27 carries, 131. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
I mean, the fact that they had a running back get over 100 yards this season in this game is very impressive. And I
Very
would
impressive.
even, add on to the fact that I think the Vikings running defense is actually pretty good. It's
It
just
is. It's
their
one. Yeah,
inability to stop the pass has been hurting them throughout the year.
absolutely. And Kirk, our favorite cousins. I mean, 27 for 38, 315, one tutty,
Yeah,
one pick. I mean, Justin Jefferson continuing his slaughter of defenses.
he has the most passing yards in the first 2 seasons in NFL history.
Exactly. And I mean, when you look at it, like I mentioned before, with the Rams, Cooper Cup, 13 targets, 10 receptions, 109 yards. But Odell Beckham, second, maybe third option, four catches, 37 yards, one touchdown.
Yep.
So it's not like he's like loading up the stack, loading up the
No,
box here. He's just
and
making
and and,
catches.
and again, it depends on what the game asks for.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, we
Hmm.
always talk about it's always about next person up.
True. Another pretty interesting game, the Buffalo Bills beating the New England Patriots. I chose the Bills, you chose the
I
Patriots for a
also,
good reason.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
honestly, again, I couldn't trust their offensive line. And not only did the offensive line play well, but then they also decided to run the ball. I mean, it's you never know any given Sunday, folks.
Big facts. I think the Patriots, and this might be like the first time we see this, um, maybe not draft, but I think somewhere in there they're going to get themselves a big name receiver. I don't know if it's going to be a rookie
It might be a
draft.
draft. It might
I
be a
don't know.
draft.
Belichick doesn't really like rookie anything. I feel like, except for offensive linemen and defensively, I don't think he minds rookies. But I don't know if they would draft a receiver, man. Like they need it though. I mean, I think Mac Jones needs a quality receiver. The
Hmm.
tight ends that they brought in, Hunter Henry hasn't been, anywhere close to what they expected. I mean, right now he threw 8 balls to Jacoby Myers. And no disrespect to Jacoby Myers, but
I
he's not
mean,
a
that was I was about to ask you if you're being
he's
disrespectful
not
to him because that'd been
he's not
hilarious if
he's
it
not.
was.
I mean, EFL legend Nikhil Harry was supposed to be something. He got 6 targets, 2 catches. I mean, come on, Shadow made. I mean, Nikhil Harry looked great in the
Well, and
EFL.
there's a reason why Shadow got fired in the first year too.
He brought all those people with him.
I'm sorry, Shadow, but we both know it was true.
Next game, we got the Bucks versus the Panthers. A real kind of interesting first half, right?
Hmm.
Um, it was what 10-6 or 9-6 somewhere like there. And I'm back, I'm back, right on the
Get on
bench.
the bench.
Uh, really modest game from Tom. 18 for 30, 232, one tutty. Um, kind of a breakout game for the reserve running backs. Keyshawn Vaughn, 7 carries, 70 yards. and a touchdown. Ronald Jones, 20 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown.
Yep. And
So,
what was it that you said during the game? You said it was Keyshawn Vaughn telling
oh, it was Keisha.
Le'Veon.
Yeah, hold on there, big fella. But then he did drop a pass late in the game, and he
Yes.
was. You know what? He punched the ground, and I was like, "Boy, you out your mind? Like, yeah, break your hand and then be out. Then you gonna give him your spot." You know what I'm saying? But no, it was a good game. Defense got 7 sacks, which is pretty huge. The re-
Again, the Panthers are who we thought they were.
we did lose Shaq Barrett to a sprained MCL, and that was kind of
Hmm.
nuts. But offensively, I liked what I saw from the receivers that were there. We just have to see what they can do for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they have a quote unquote easy path to the end of the season with
I
the
don't know.
Jets and playing the Panthers again to round up the season. I think a lot of their focus needs to be on trying to keep certain players healthy, but still try to
Yeah,
win these last two games to have an outside chance of clinching that number one seed. But I mean, they just need to get healthy, and if they
agreed.
can, I mean, they don't want to limp into the playoffs.
Agreed. Next, speaking of the Jets, they beat the Jaguars for the Tank Bowl, 26-21.
We call
Um,
that one.
yeah, nothing really going on there.
No.
Atlanta did beat the Detroit Lions 20 to
Again,
16.
that was a close game. That could have went either
Yeah,
way.
it's more bad on the Falcons than the Lions.
Yes.
The real shocker here, Houston beating the Chargers.
Again,
Um,
we don't know which Chargers team we're gonna get, and this is exactly what happened. I mean, Justin
um,
Herbert still had a monster game, but then of course everyone's talking about the pick six at the
a
end.
pick
But
six.
I
Yeah,
mean, the defense couldn't stop anything.
yeah. I mean, it's the Texans. I mean, you just never know. This is something good for them to build on. David General Mills,
Hmm.
21 for 27. You know, he would be an EFL guy. 254, 2 touchdowns. But Rex Burkhead, 22 carries for
I
149
mean,
yards is
when the
freaking.
last time we heard the name Rex Burkhead since he was a Patriot?
I think they had a whole bunch of Patriots on their team. That's the
Hmm.
whole that was the whole thing because their organization is so tightly connected to the Patriots. But
I mean, they did have Bill O'Brien, who was also part of the Patriots organization at one time too.
exactly,
I mean, we also going
looks
at
like
Cincinnati.
moving on to Cincinnati, who actually beat the Ravens. And it's funny, as you said, the Ravens have made it a game. It was like, pew!
Yep.
uh, I was like, oh my god. He's like, he said they made it a game. And I looked,
It was
and
like the Rivers like, "Oh, we made it a game. We could win, guys."
no, not even close.
In the
Joe
game, they're
Burrow,
like, "Crap."
Joe Burrow, 37 for 46, 525 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Joe Mixon ran 18 times for 65 yards. Two receivers, counted Johnny, almost four receivers, over 100 yards
Yep.
receiving. My goodness, they went bananas on them.
Again,
But
they swept the season series with them. They're now
yeah,
number one in the AFC North. And honestly, they just need teams to lose and
mhm.
they'll clinch the division. I believe they clinched too, I believe.
Who would have thought that? Who would have thought the Bengals would make such a turnaround this quick? Obviously, Joe Burrow didn't play at the end of last year, so we didn't get a chance to see a full
Yeah.
campaign. But Josh Johnson held his own, 28 for 40, 304, 2 touchdowns, one pick. I think the only thing that was missing is the running game. I think that's where Lamar and Huntley would have changed the game a little bit.
Yeah.
But go Ravens, go. Um,
Kitty
Next,
goes
we had
meow.
another shocker toward the end of the game. We had the Chicago Bears beat the Seattle Seahawks, which
First of all, let's get this out of the way. Snowing in Seattle.
yeah, it looked like it was a sleepless night. Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah. Shout out to
Uh,
my friends out there in Seattle though, because I'm pretty
yeah,
sure they were losing their minds because they used to be in Arizona.
yeah, facts. But you know they're gonna give the credit to Nick Foles who got that start,
I
24 to
want to
30.
say the nickname, but I can't say it. But you know
Yeah, you
exactly what I was
can't
gonna
do it.
say.
Yeah, yeah. I know you can't say it. But shout out to the Seahawks. I mean, they played a pretty
Yeah.
safe game. You know, Rashard Penny ran 17 for 135. Russell Wilson 16 for 27, 181, two tutties. They did a pretty good job in the snow, throwing the ball, protecting the ball. They just couldn't get it done, and
No, I mean at the end of the
the Bears
game, it
won it.
was just a goal line stand that they needed to do, and not only did they give up the touchdown, but then they gave up the 2 point conversion. Shout outs to the Seattle fans for throwing, snowballs at the Bears at the end of the game too. Stay classy.
That's funny. But
But
as I previously mentioned, we had the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Steelers. I mean, come on, that we saw that a mile
that
away.
was not them beating the Steelers. That was them laying the Steelers to rest. And the most iconic moment throughout that whole game was Big Ben on the bench, head
Right,
down,
that's it. Show me the flipping head down.
as Doc, all he wrote in the reply to the picture that I sent him of that is hashtag career.
I did. That's exactly what I wrote, and I'm not even mad at it.
I mean, the same guy who took an iconic picture of Hungry Box at Evo
Mm, I
with
did.
another iconic moment saying hashtag career. Yeah, this game was nowhere near competitive at all.
I mean,
At all.
if we're talking about competitive, the two last games were competitive in their own way.
We had three
Um,
games this weekend that wasn't even competitive.
so the Raiders did beat the Denver Broncos 17-13. Very competitive. Very competitive.
Yes.
Drew Lock almost made us a fool. But
And
I
then
mean,
and then he proved us exactly why he is
yeah,
Drew Lock.
exactly. But where things went wrong, the them boys, the Dallas Cowboys has everybody running high. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, the Cowboys should be number one.
Mm-hmm.
The cow. Oh, Parsons says we're not alligators. We don't get paralyzed after eating our food. We're lions. We always want more. Um, what other sound bites did I hear?
Some
Dak, he's no
pretty dumb
longer
sound bites, by the way.
Dak. What you know? What slump? You know, Dak is back. And guess what, Johnny? Amari Cooper gets 11 targets,
Yep.
7 catches for 85 yards. He said, "I told you to throw me the ball more." Oh, I can't wait for that soundbite. I'm pretty sure somebody's out there like, "Oh, Amari was right," even though yeah,
I
come on.
feel like people are gonna overreact from this game.
Um,
Um,
and
like completely overreact from it.
it stinks because this was also the same week that the football team announced the first female position coach, or their first female position coach,
Yep.
and they didn't even show up to this game,
Yeah.
and that really really stinks. But
And I kept saying, well, they never had a game where the defense played great and the offense played great.
true. But Johnny, we have a game tonight.
We do.
We can't talk about that crap anymore.
I
We
don't
got
want to talk about them
Miami.
boys at all if I can
We got
help
New
it.
Orleans. 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, Monday Night Football. Johnny, who do you got?
That's a good question. I'm
It's
gonna
a
go with
coach.
Miami though.
Are you?
I am.
I mean, Miami's riding what, a 6-7 game winning streak.
Hmm.
AFC East
After losing
is
7 straight, they won 6 straight, I believe.
This game might be somewhat of the drizzling. Both. Yeah, we got 30th and 31st offense, and yeah, we got the 10th ranked team, the Dolphins, and the third ranked team in the Saints. 18 passing for the Dolphins,
Mm-hmm.
32nd for the Saints. I don't know, Johnny. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna
I'll go with it.
trust. I'm gonna trust the Dolphins on this one.
You got the 32nd rushing attack.
I'm still gonna go with the Dolphins.
I'm gonna go with the Saints only because they beat the Bucks. They right. You know what? They don't usually play a good game after beating the Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins also. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. You're right. They don't, yeah, that's usually how it works. They usually beat the Bucks, you know, and then come out and have a really, really flat game. So you know what?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins also. I don't think Taysom Hill is gonna be able to run wild. Um, you're right. Dolphins it is. But Johnny, I know that people heard this podcast on their favorite podcast platform. But if they didn't, they can always go to our website at www.debateamongstfriends.com to review this episode as well as all the previous. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, the King's Day, as we deliver the news, the analysis, and the reads.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.